read 1.5.14 purport, correct? As we said, the third question of Chanchalapati Prabhu about how to anchor for the anchoring of the Lord. That's something which we will do it as we go along in the narration of Narada Muni, narration of his own story from the previous life. We'll do it. But let's do 1.5.14 and if possible 15 also today. So we'll read the verse and translation once. Tatonyatha kinchana yad vivakshataha कृतदृशस्तत्कृतरूपनामभिः न कर्हि चित्वा पिचदुःसितामते लभेत वाताहतनो रिवास्तदम्. Can somebody read the translation and the purport? Just translate.
I will read, Prabhu. Translation. Whatever you desire to describe that is separate in vision from the Lord simply reacts with different forms, names, and results to agitate. Continue, Prabhu. Did we lose Prabhu?
Not able to hear you, Prabhuji.
Can you hear me when I'm talking?
No, I was not talking actually. No, please go ahead with the purport. I heard the translation.
Okay. Sri Vyasadeva is the editor of all descriptions of the Vedic literatures, and thus he has described transcendental realization in different ways, namely by fruitive activities, speculative knowledge, mystic power, and devotional service. Besides that, in his various Puranas, he has recommended the worship of so many demigods in different forms and names. The result is that people in general are puzzled how to fix the mind in the service of the Lord. They are always disturbed about finding the real path of self-realization. Srila Narada Deva is stressing this particular defect in the Vedic literatures composed by Vyasadeva. And thus he is trying to emphasize describing everything in relation with the Supreme Lord and no one else. In fact, there is nothing existent except the Lord. The Lord is manifested in different expansions. He is the root of the complete tree. He is the stomach of the complete
form. I have a question here now. I have a question here. Anyone can try to answer me. Srila Narada Deva is stressing this particular defect in the Vedic literatures compared to by Vyasadeva, and thus is trying to emphasize describing everything like Supreme Lord and known as. Now, which defect that Narada Muni is indicating?
That he has not sung the glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
No, not only that. What is the other thing that? In the previous few lines itself, it is there.
Really not focusing on the devotional service, fixing on the fixing the mind.
No, I am telling specifically the past few lines in this purport. Because this particular defect, Prabhupada is writing, Srila Narada is stressing this particular defect. What is the particular defect? This means, sorry?
So many ways. There are so many ways which has been described.
Yeah,
so
the thing is, he is talking about the various Puranas. Each one of them is telling you worship this demigod, that demigod, etc., etc. Different forms and names, right? That is one defect. What is other defect?
Worshipping of the demigods?
No, that is what we just now covered. We just now covered that point.
The previous line, Prabhuji, he described transcendental realization in different ways by fruitive activities, speculative knowledge, mystic power, and devotional service.
So the transcendental realization is described basically fruitive activities means karma kanda. Then speculative activity is jnana kanda. Right? This in the Vedas, he has described them in different ways. Jnana kanda, upasana kanda, and karma kanda. Karma kanda, jnana kanda, upasana kanda. But what he has done is, he has done all these things without indicating who all these are finally applicable to. Why are we doing all these things for the final? So people think that, hey, if I do karma kanda, if I follow the karma kanda part of the Vedas, then I am transcendentally and self-realized. Somebody thinks that I am doing jnana kanda, then I am self-realized. You understand where we are getting to? Two types of defects. One is he is getting worship Surya Dev, worship Indra, worship Shiva, worship Ganeshji, worship Durga, all these different devatas for the different forms here and names he has given. They are all true, but they are not the ultimate. You understand? So what people are saying is that what people got confused of was that where to go finally, that is not given. But different paths are given. Through this path, you will reach that point. That is the point where you will reach. That he has not given. You understood? So people thought that I will just keep going in this way, wherever I am getting, that is my destination. It should not be like that now. One single point of destination should be there, and people should be told that, okay, from here to there you are going, this is the time it will take, and this is the process you should follow. If these are the do's, these are the don'ts, all those things. Right? That he has not given clearly, and that has led to confusion among people. The result is that people in general are puzzled how to fix their minds in the service of the Lord. How to fix their mind in the service of the Lord. One is telling, hey, I am going to worship Kartikeya. That is my self-realization. Another is saying, I am going to worship Ganeshji. That is both. Then both of them will be fighting. Hey, he is better or he is better. He is who is greater. So these kind of confusions he has created in that process. If a small thing that he has done, that both of them are actually subservient to the Supreme Lord, then these two people will not fight with each other. Both of them will say, whom I am worshipping is also serving the same Supreme Lord. Whom you are worshipping, he is also worshipping the same Supreme Lord. So we don't have anything to fight for each other. Correct? Does it make sense now? Like you go via Bombay to Delhi, I go via Vizag to Delhi, or Nagpur to Delhi. Ultimately, both of us are going to reach the same Delhi. It doesn't matter. Or you go by flight, I go by train. It's ultimately the same place. I may go one day later. That's okay for me. At the end of the day, I'm reaching there. Right? So that missing part is you are going to Delhi. That is your ultimate destination. That he has not given. Go via this place. This is the thing. Go via Kartikeya, go via Durga. They are, so people thought that they are the ultimate instead of understanding where they are, to whom they are working for. So this confusion got created in the people because of that missing link. That is one part of the service which he left incomplete. And that is what Narada Muni is stressing. Now, my next question. So this is a defect now. Okay. Now, they are all still existing. Ganesh Purana is there, Shiva Purana is there, Garud Purana is there, Brahma Vaivada Purana, whatever. All these different Puranas are there, Skanda Purana, everything is there. Now, are they all still defective?
Prabhuji,
How do we say
actually,
that?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I don't know, even when I read this, I feel that it is Lord's plan. He doesn't want it easier for person to reach him. I mean, there should be a certain seriousness. So
Okay.
I think that's why these are the steps or obstacles, or not obstacles, but different ways of reaching him. And I think these are not imperfect or mistake. He has kept it this way intently.
No, that intention we will keep it aside, Mataji. Intention wise, we'll keep it aside. But my question is, Narada Muni is calling this as a defect. Prabhupada also is calling it as a defect. That you have written about everybody, but people are confused in this thing. Now, after Bhagavatam is written, do those Puranas still deserve to be called as imperfect? Or do those activities still deserve to be called as imperfect?
Prabhuji, the imperfection and defection is with us, as in the Isha Upanishad, the 4 defects are with us, with our limited intelligence and our speculative knowledge, and we are trying to understand or learn or unlearn. So the defect is with us, Prabhuji, I think. I mean, that's my.
No, but Prabhupada directly says here that there is a defect here.
Guruji, was this defect till Bhagavatam was written? Now that Bhagavatam is written, it is not a defect because
that's what I'm asking.
Age, there is a literature available. So, like I think in the last class you said, I can teach mathematics depending on what level your maturity is. I can teach algebra, geometry, or I can go to calculus, trigonometry. So right now, this basic mathematics was not there. So Narada asked him to write the Bhagavatam. Now that this is available, depending on your level of maturity, you can go pick whichever Purana and find your salvation.
Exactly. No, not that you go to Puranas and find your salvation. It is like there is a jigsaw puzzle. Okay. Assume this way, right? You have all these different pieces put together, but still the picture is not complete. When you put that final thing called Bhagavatam there, then everything becomes complete, isn't it? You see everything from a Bhagavatam perspective. Now Shiva Purana is also glorified. The Devi Purana is also glorified. They are not defective. But without this main thing of glorification of the Supreme Lord and the process of devotional service, which is the ultimate path, without that, if you are doing any kind of gymnastics with any other things, it will not work. Like I will show you one particular verse, Bhagavatam in 11th canto, 21st chapter, 42nd verse. Maybe whoever is who is sharing now. Rajesh Prabhu.
No, Guru.
Is it Gaurav Prabhu?
Gaurav Prabhu, yeah.
Okay. Maybe you can take 11, 21, 42, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, shared.
This is the beautiful verse which talk about the 3 sections of the Vedas. The Lord himself is talking about this in the Uddhav Gita to Uddhav. Kim vidate, kim achaste, kim anudya vikalpayet. Ityasya hridayam loke nanyo mad veda kashyata. Krishna is telling, except me, no one knows this. Can you read this translation?
In the entire world, no one but me actually understands the confidential purpose of Vedic knowledge. Thus, people do not know what the Vedas are actually prescribing in the ritualistic injunctions of Karma Kand, or what object is actually being indicated in the formulas of worship found in Upasana Kand, or that which is elaborately discussed through the various hypotheses in the Jnana Kand section of the Vedas.
So these 3 sections are what they are the ones which form the main sections of the Vedas. Okay. Now here, that's what Prabhupada is writing here in the beginning. Namely, by fruitive activities, speculative knowledge, and mystic power and devotional service. He combines those things together. That is a Upasana Kanda. Right? Speculative knowledge is the Jnana Kanda. Fruitive activities is the Karma Kanda. Right? So now devotional service is a little bit here and there, but not the prominence is not given to it. So what is Karma Kanda? Vedas, what is described? Prescribed in the ritualistic. Prabhu, you have to shift to that window. The basically what is karma kanda, vidatte, vidhi, that which is explained. This is what you should do. Ritualistic in this part of the activity you should do. This part of the yajna you should do. For all those things, that is all given as karma kanda. People will do. It is said in the Vedas, I will do it. But it does not stop there. How to do that ritual? That is in the upasana kanda. Which object is actually indicated? How to worship that deity, right? Like say Surya Bhagavan, if it is indicated, it will say how to worship that Surya Bhagavan, all that stuff. And glories of the Surya Bhagavan, why to worship Surya Bhagavan, why Surya Bhagavan is important for the health, etc. is in the Jnana Kanda. He has his 7 horses, each horse gets this, and he is the source of light, and he is the source of heat. All this kind of stuff, they all come under the Jnana Kanda, the hypothesis. Basically, from what you call not this, then this is the thing, the qualities of Surya Bhagavan, and all those things are indicated in the Jnana Kanda. But what is missing here? Who is he reporting to or serving? That was missing there. So without that final this thing, it's a defective thing. But once you know the final thing, I mean to say the supreme absolute truth, under whose orders Surya Bhagavan is working, Chandra Bhagavan is working, everybody is working, all the Shiv Bhagavan and Ganesh ji, everybody whoever is working, they are all working under the order of his Supreme Lord. When you put that into place, then all these other Puranas and the demigods, their worship, everything becomes okay. As long as it does not say that he is the Supreme. If they indicate that no, this Ganesh is supreme here and Kartika is supreme there and Durga ji is supreme there, etc., then it creates confusion again. That is why this Bhagavatam is most important. Once Bhagavatam highlights this importance that this is the main thing, then the defects are all gone. You got it? And that is what Krishna is telling, except me, no one knows. Sorry, somebody was about to ask some question, looks like. Is that Rajesh Prabhu or Hemant?
I was thinking of an example. Can I share, Prabhu?
Please.
So it is like Prabhu Vyasdeva created a map with different destination, which is not the actual destination. And then Bhagavatam gives us the actual destination, from which we can relate, okay, the others were not the actual destination. This is the actual destination.
Very true, correct. You are talking about, people are going once, you know where you are going and you reach there, then that is the ultimate thing. You might have gone through some different directions, but ultimately where you are reaching, that is more important.
Yeah.
Right?
Prabhu, one more thought
Yes,
struck me.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So basically, based on what you explained, it looks like the Srimad Bhagavatam became the index of the book. Previously, so many chapters were written. In which sequence I should read, how I should read and understand was not clear. Now he said you write the index, then people can branch off to different things.
Yeah, very good example, Prabhu. This is where it plays the pivotal role. You can build any number of buildings, but then foundation is very important. Foundation, everything stands on the foundation. So once you have the clarity through the Bhagavatam, you don't worry about your reading Shiva Purana or Ganesh Purana or Skanda Purana or any other Purana for that matter. Because you know where we are reaching. You know that this is where you are going up north, means you are going to Delhi, then how long it will take and what is it that you are talking about. Same way, this particular point which you are talking about here, the defective is stressing this particular defect in the Vedic literatures compared by Vyasadeva, and thus he is trying to emphasize describing everything in relation with the Supreme Lord and no one else. If everything is, if the relation to the Supreme Lord is established, then no problem. You have 100 different relationships and all of them are different things, then you will not be able, you will be confused. The other reason why this is no more defective once Bhagavatam is written is from the fact that those Puranas still exist. If those were defective, then Vyasadeva would have thrown into the Saraswati river or dug a hole and put it inside, saying only Bhagavatam is enough, all the books are not needed. Correct? Now, the point we have to understand is, in fact, as Meenakshi Mataji was indicating, I just wanted to wait to complete this point, that it's actually Leela that the Lord in the form of Srila Vyasadeva performed to show, if you have to show the supremeness of something, it has to be compared against something else. Unless and until you show the other ones which, they are serving, like say Padma Purana is glorifying Bhagavatam, Shiva Purana is glorifying Bhagavatam. All we discussed that in our seminars and all, right? How Bhagavatam is glorified in all the other Puranas and other scriptures also. Means someone else is showing that, hey, he is the supreme. If one person is a very great person, but unless and until other people glorify him, how will you know that this person is the supreme? He only has to keep talking about himself. And that also will not stand forever, because unless and until you accept that person as the Supreme Lord, you will call that person as an egoistic person. There is no need, he is just glorifying himself. What's the point in worshipping? And then you will move on. Right? If Bhagavatam was not written, people would not have read Bhagavad Gita so much. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling, I am everything, I am everything. Many people say that, Krishna is such an egoistic person, he's saying everything is himself only. Right? But when you see others glorifying, like our in the 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, that is the chapter in Bhagavad Gita where he talks about everything, that I am this, I am this, I am this, isn't it? Vibhuti Yoga. In that chapter itself, he has used this aham word at least 40 or 50 times. He has used. So I don't know the exact number, but so many times he uses this word aham. For us, he is telling you remove your aham, you remove your aham mama. But he is telling so many ahams, right? But the beautiful thing is, before he talks about those ahams, 10.11 and 12, where Arjuna is speaking those two slokas, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashwatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhuti. This is where he accepts Krishna's supremacy 100% in Bhagavad Gita. Before that, he was accepting as a servant, as a disciple, etc., etc. But then this verse, after he speaks, Krishna speaks those 4 Chatushlaki Bhagavad Gita, no? Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, Tesham Satadektanam, etc. After that, Arjuna declares, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, you are the Param Brahman, you are the Param Dhama, you are the Param Pavitram, and you are the Purusham, and you are the Shashwatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. You are unborn, you are Vibhu, everything is telling. But then the next verse is very interesting. What it says, Ahustam Rishayas Sarve Devarshir Naradas Tada, Asito Devalo Vyasa, Swayam Chaiva Prabhishime. Because if he had stopped with that verse also, people will say, hey, he's just his friend. There are people, fans of an actor, glorifies them as a demigod. Like that, you fans of a sports person, they are glorifying as a demigod. So Arjuna is Krishna's dear friend, he is also glorifying. No, he doesn't stop. Ahustvam Rishaya Sarve. I am not telling this by my own conclusion. I have seen you now, fine. But Rishaya Sarve, all Rishis are telling. Devarshi, Naradastada. Devarshi is also glorifying you like this. Asita Devala Vyasa. Asita Devala Vyasa, like the great Rishis, they are also glorifying you. Swayam Chaiva Pravishime. And now you are also telling the same thing. Everything concludes to the same point. That is why I am accepting you as the Supreme Lord. Arjuna is declaring this in Bhagavad Gita. Understood? So, a person's supremacy is concluded by his own glory. But the problem is, unless and until we see its supremacy with other things in relation, we will not be able to understand its greatness, isn't it? Right? If India is the only country, always the supreme country, then we will not care for any other thing. But when you see all other countries dependent on India or all other countries dependent on the US, now US is more glorified because all other countries are dependent on, or it is whatever thing it does, exploiting, controlling, whatever it does. So people understand, hey, without their blessings, we cannot advance in this world. So people are saying this is a number one country, correct? If there is only one, there is no number one, number two. No? If there are 10 different things are there, then you can have number one, number two, number three, etc. Then the number one gets prominence like that. So it's a leela that Krishna does in this form in his form as Vyasadeva. That let me write all other scriptures first, and then when that despondency and all those things will happen. And then when Narada Muni advises him and when he writes Srimad Bhagavatam, not only that his despondency goes, for everyone else also everything becomes clear. So that is why when we focus ourselves on Bhagavatam, we don't decry or demean or criticize the other Puranas or other Shastras within our Vedic parlance. You understand? They were also written by Vyasadeva only. The defect is that missing link is, once that missing link is fixed, there is no more, that we don't see the defect anymore. And even if you read Shiva Purana or Devi Purana, you will do it in relation with Bhagavatam only, or in conjunction with Bhagavatam. You will not read that alone. Right? For example, Shiva Purana glorifies Shiva as the Supreme. Right? When it says so, hey, in Bhagavatam it says Krishna is Supreme. In Shiva Purana it says Shiva is Supreme. How is a big thing? There's someone who is not accepting Bhagavatam as the ultimate Shastra, he may say, it doesn't matter, somebody is following this Purana, somebody is following that Purana. So for him the answer is, yes, in Shiva Purana, the Nandi and others, they might be Shiva followers. They will glorify Lord Shiva as Supreme. But what is Lord Shiva is telling? Lord Shiva is telling Aradhananam service to him. Parvati only is telling, not to anyone else. Parvati is Guru, husband, so worship of Lord, everything is Lord Shiva. Of course, she is Vaishnavi, she worships Krishna, but immediate Guru, right, who is giving her the knowledge and everything. Parvati is questioning whose worship is the best. Then Shiva is responding, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam param. But then it doesn't stop there. Tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. But even greater than that is worshipping his subservients, his servants. Tadiyanam samarchanam. So from that point of view, glorifying Lord Shiva in Purana is complete, isn't it? He's saying even greater than worshipping the Supreme Lord is worshipping his servants. Only worshipping his subordinates. Himself is telling that. And he is also telling that I am subordinate to the Lord. That is where you just take one section where Shiva is glorified, then you say Shiva Purana glorifies Shiva. That is not correct. You have to see everything in whole, holistic view. You have to see Padma Purana, Shiva Purana, everything you take and because everything is written by the same author. It's not 18 books, it is actually one full book. 18 different parts, you can call it that way. Right? Now, this it's okay. Shiva is telling worship of Lord Narayana is the best, or Lord Vishnu is the best, and greater than that is worshipping his subordinates. Krishna is concluding that in Bhagavatam also, isn't it? Aham bhakta paradino, he asvatantra iva dvijaha. Sadhubir grasta hridayo bhakta janapriya. Krishna is telling one more step he is going in that. What is he saying? Worshipping of my servant is greater than worshipping me, but worship my devotee is greater than worshipping me. But I am dear not on, but greater than that is worshipping my devotees, devotee. Bhaktebhyo Bhakta Vatsala. Bhakta Janapriya. I am dear to not only my devotees, I am even more dear to the devotees of my devotees. Now everything is now falling in place, isn't it? Shiva is also telling the same thing. Krishna is also telling the same thing. Is that clear or not?
Yes, Prabhu, the link is perfectly connected now.
Right? Shiva is telling you worship of the Lord is best, but better than that is worship of me. So you are not doing anything wrong, Parvati. You are worshipping me, and I am passing it on to Krishna. So that way our line is complete. Same way, Krishna is telling, I am the servant of my servants and the servant of my servants. So that much is the humility that is there. So from a hierarchy point of view, this thing is completely established. Lord Vishnu, Krishna is the supreme, then everything else is falling in place. But in worshipping point of view, worship of Shiva is greater than worship of Krishna only when you understand you worship with the understanding that Shiva is actually servant of he's what do you call that word? He's another expansion of Krishna, but at the same time he is subservient to Krishna, subordinate to Krishna. Whatever we do to him is actually ultimately going to the Keshavam Pratigachati. We'll say that no. What is that? Shloka is very nice. All the water finally joins into the Ganga. The Ganga, no. What's Gachati Sagaram? That's a nice verse. That is same way. Sarvadeva Namaskaram Keshavam Pratigachati. Something like that. That one verse is there. Wherever the waters are all at the end of the day, it is all joining the ocean. The same way, whoever we are worshipping, ultimately all the offerings go to the Supreme Lord. Right? So that is where this defect is no more defect once Bhagavatam is written. That we have to understand. So we are focusing on Bhagavatam only. That is very important for us because that itself is so deep. It's not possible to complete that in this lifetime itself. But at the same time, anything that is coming out from Vara Puran, Garud Puran, Padma Puran, Shiva Purana, etc., we have to accept, we have to take it in line within conjunction with the Bhagavatam conclusions. That is why we will see many times Prabhupada will quote in Bhagavatam itself from all these Puranas. How will you understand that? So those things connect with our thing. So it's not that these Puranas are completely fault, you throw it away. No, not like that. But Narada Muni will strongly object to Vyasadeva in a very strong words, basically. Yeah, I think somebody has written this thing. What's that? Who's written this? Maunika Mataji and Rajesh Prabhu, both of them have Akasham Patitam Toyam Yatha Gachati Sagaram. The water that is falling from the sky, that just like that, how it going to the ocean. Sarvadeva Namaskaram Keshav Pratigachati. Thank you so much for that. So beautiful. Everybody is. Oh, 3 people have so shared the same sloka. I think this is it's a record, I think. Nice. Okay, so now let's go further. Who was ready? Is that Rajesh Prabhu?
Yes, Piyush Prabhu, 1514.
He's asking something, huh? Who was that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you. Was it Piyush Prabhu reading it?
No, I was reading. Piyush Prabhu was sharing. Or I think,
okay.
No, not
Oh,
Piyush
he is
Prabhu.
the one sharing. Gaurav
Prabhu is sharing, and yeah.
I'm sharing, Prabhuji.
Please continue.
In fact, there is nothing existent except the Lord. The Lord is manifested in different expansions. He is the root of the complete tree. He is the stomach of the complete body. Pouring water on the root is the right process to water the tree, as much as feeding the stomach supplies energy to all parts of the body. Therefore, Srila Vyasadeva should not have compiled any Puranas other than Bhagavad Purana, because a slight deviation from that may create havoc for self-realization. If a slight deviation can create such havoc, then what to speak of deliberate expansion of the ideas separate from the absolute truth, personality of Godhead? The most
No, 1
effective-
minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. Before we go further, you might have heard this puzzle because there is a Prabhupada is using this word puzzle here now, or puzzled how to fix their mind. How to understand these different Puranas. One nice example was given by one of the devotees, and by Guru Maharaj, I like that very much, that example. 2 fathers and 2 sons went for hunting in the forest. Okay, all of them aimed at the group of birds. No shot was misfired. Every shot hit the target. So total 4 people, 2 fathers and 2 sons. But the number of birds that fell was only 3. How do you understand this? How do you solve this puzzle? You might have heard this. Many of you would have heard.
Grandfather.
Grandfather, father, and son. So when you say 2 father and 2 sons, that father is the son of the grandfather, and at the same time is the father of the grandson. Right? So similarly, we should understand the Puranas. If Shiva is the father in one place, he is the son in another place. Krishna is the grandfather there. Right? So anybody who has this, if you only see 2 father, 2 son, 2 father, 2 son, 4 people, there should not, there something is wrong. One thing got misfired. One bullet went to someone, one shot went somewhere else, or one bird flew away. These things and all is not the answer. Right? So where one person is the father, in another place he is the son. In terms of the importance I'm talking about, not literally father, son, not that way. Right? This is how the Puranas linking should be understood. Then it is very simple. Okay, let's go further. So this, if slight deviation can create such havoc, then what to speak of deliberate expansion in the ideas, expansion of the ideas separate from the absolute personality of God. Here, Narada Muni is, even though he is a devotee of Supreme Lord, he is a guru for Krishna here. So he is playing the role perfectly. He is literally going to smash him in the next verse. Because it is a deliberate expansion. Why? Because Vyasadeva knows the complete science, complete hierarchy, everything he knows 100%. Krishna himself, he knows everything correctly. But deliberately he is expanding. Now, this is another example that he is setting for learned people in this world. It's not that he is not knowing that I should not do this. He knows, but he's telling setting an example to this world that, hey, you know that Krishna is a Supreme Lord. Still, why are you not highlighting that point to the ignorant mass of people? Why it should be done, not from a fanatical point of view. One has to understand that Kali Yuga is degrading and degrading. If you are giving someone, hey, she is liking Shiva, let's give him Shiva Puran. He is liking Ganesh, Ganesh Puran. Like that, we keep giving something to some people. You don't understand their lifetime is very limited. The Kali Yuga is degrading day by day drastically. And when will they come to Bhagavatam? By the time they come to Bhagavatam, they will be in their deathbed and you will not be able to explain to them. They can't hear, they can't understand, no memory will be there. That is why Prahlad Maharaj himself is saying, Kaumaram Acharet Pragyaha Dharman Bhagavatanika. This Bhagavata Dharma should be taught from childhood. Because it is not an easy thing to digest and assimilate and bring it into practice. Right? We are doing it for 20 plus years, 30 years, whatever. But because we are with Bhagavatam, something is there, but still we are not 100% there yet. They are far, far away from there. Then imagine what would be the case of people who are doing all this karma kanda, jnana kanda, whatever other things, conclusions, Vedanta Sutra, when they will come here. They may not even come in this lifetime. Before even they come, they will die. That is why Shankaracharya himself told in his that famous Bhajagovindam thing, Samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati dukran karane. Dukran karane means learning by heart. What you call ratan. Just simply learning by heart without understanding the meaning. Right? So this is Samprapte Sannihite Kale. When last minute comes, when our last moment comes, this Dukrunkaran, this learning by heart will not help you. Because you haven't understood the essence of the slokas. You're just simply learning by heart something just for the sake of it. That doesn't work. So this point is very important. Let's go further.
The most defective part of worshipping demigods is that it creates a definite conception of pantheism, ending disastrously in many religious sects, detrimental to the progress of the principles of Bhagavatam, which alone can give the accurate direction of self-realization in eternal relation with the personality.
We lost him, huh?
The boat.
Prabhu, we lost you in between. Which alone can give the accurate direction for self-realization in eternal relation with the personality of Godhead by devotional service in transcendental love. See how many phrases the Prabhupada has used. This is one of the longest statement actually. If you notice it. Doesn't stop with one or two places. See, after this, to the progress of detrimental to the progress of the principles of the Bhagavatam, which alone can give the accurate direction for self-realization. But that self-realization, how it should be in eternal relation with the personality of God. Many people can say, I am a jnani, I am self-realized. No. Okay, where is it? Is your jnana in relation with the Supreme Lord? Does it have anything in relation to pleasing the Supreme Lord? Are you doing it to please the Supreme Lord or for your own thing? This is all the questions that we have to ask when we are doing this self-realization. So it's very important to know this. Now this slight deviation can create such havoc. No? There's a nice example that they used to say in the forest path and all, there will be some paths that will be going, right? Then there'll be one more small branch that will take. Like it will be just bifurcating or forking off from the main path, isn't it? But in the beginning, you will see that it is just going like this. But after 1 or 2 kilometers, it will be completely gone in a totally different direction. Right? You say it is only slight deviation. What's the big problem? But that slight deviation will create so much thing, and then by the time 2-3 kilometers is gone, the main path will be in one going down. You will be completely like 4-5 kilometers away from the main path. You will not even know how far you have come from the main path. That is one example we should always remember. In the Shastras also, it is very important to clearly mention this thing out. Right? Where we are going, but ultimately this is the main thing that you have to follow. And so that is in eternal relation with the personality of Godhead, and that also simply not by establishing the relation by devotional service in transcendental love. How many phrases? Read this. You see, in eternal direction, accurate direction for self-realization in eternal relation with the personality of Godhead by devotional service in transcendental love. He has used all conjunctions possible, I think. Isn't it? For, in, with, by, and again. How much I don't know Prabhupada would have meditated on to put this thing. Okay, let's read the last line and close this purport.
The example of the boat disturbed by whirling wind is suitable in this respect. The diverted mind of the pantheist can never reach the perfection of self-realization due to the disturbed condition of the selection of objects.
Yes, Suresh Prabhu has also quoted this nice thing, yo yam tanum bhaktah shraddhaya architam ichchati tasya achalam shraddham tam eva vidadamya. I am only giving that thing from within as Paramatma. I am also situated as Paramatma inside that personality whom you are worshipping, Shiva, Ganesh, whatever. And then I am also situated as Paramatma in the heart of the worshipper. So I am establishing tasya achalam shraddham, firm flinching faith. I am only establishing that. Ultimately, I am only giving. You worship Shiva and he says, oh, Shiva gave me this. But I am I am approving Shiva to give this benediction to that his devotee, so that the love or the faith of that worshipper upon Lord Shiva is firmly fixed, firmly established. Who will do this? Normally, if I give something and someone else is giving it as if it is his, right? I will make that person the ultimately who is receiving to understand that I am only giving it, isn't it? But Krishna is completely renounced, completely zero ego. If you want to take credit, take credit. But I want you to somehow or other bring that person to you at least, so that they will not be suffering in the lowest level. At least one level higher they can come. Isn't it? So see how nice it is for Krishna to do it. See that perspective. See from that perspective, it is really amazing. Okay, let's read. I would like to hear from others before we go further. I see some questions might come up. Is there any questions, comments?
Prabhuji, now there is a flow of people of different belief. They are coming to Sanatana Dharma, considering there is a flexibility in this Dharma. Lot of Muslims have appreciated that Hindu Dharma has very much flexibility. I would prefer to join. It is because there is a lot of flexibility. So that flexibility is like this. So you have a lot of choices. There is no force by all other communities. The beliefs are there is a force, and there is only one thing. They don't have any choice. If they differ, they have no other way to go. So by pressure, under pressure, they are worshipping their God, I will say. When they are given the details about our Sanatana Dharma, they said, "Oh, come on, there is a lot of flexibility here. I will prefer to join this. I will prefer to accept this." So this flexibility is because of the Lord wants that people should come with the choice. They should learn, understand that there is they believe me, then they will come to me. If they are not believing, they will go to another demigods and they will take rest there.
Yeah, the flexibility is there, but at the same time, we should also not misunderstand that one path is equally powerful as the other second path. Like going to demigods is not equally as powerful as going to Krishna. You are free to go anywhere, but don't assume that going to Shiva is same as going to Krishna, or going to Ganeshji, or going to Surya, or anyone else, any other demigods is same as going to the ultimate. That is the challenge.
In the process, they will learn. No, at some stage when they get mature, they will understand and they will come to proper path.
Yes. And not only that, going to Shiva also is not a dead end. Like you said, they will mature. No? They will go with the idea initially that Shiva is the supreme, right? Or Vishnu, or say Ganeshji, or Kartika is the supreme, whatever, Devi is the supreme. But at some point in their path, they will understand somehow or other when they come in touch with Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, etc. The principle, the conclusions of the proper conclusions of our scriptures, then they will accept it in a positive way, and then they will move forward. You see, in India, Prabhu, apart from those who were right from beginning were worshipping Krishna, most of those others were somewhere or other they were worshipping the demigods. Correct? We came from the demigod only to Krishna. Even among 33 crore demigods, we had our favorite demigods. No? Some of us will be like favorite of Lord Shiva, some will be of Durga, some will be Kartikeya, something. There were so many people, they were there. One of the devotees told me that, I'm an ardent worshipper of Kartikeya before coming to Krishna consciousness. But when I read this Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Senani na maham skandaha. Then immediately I got the message. And then my doubts were clear, and I came to sing Krishna consciousness directly. Another one, he said that I was an ardent worshipper of Lord Shiva. Then I was going to one class somewhere, they were explaining, and they said somebody challenged the speaker that Shiva is supreme. Then the speaker asked, how do you say that Shiva is supreme? Yes, Shiva is supreme because he is the owner of everything, and all that stuff. Okay, and the speaker asked the person, okay, you tell me how normally Shiva's forms are in the picture, the deity form and picture and all. They said he is in meditating pose, right? Then he asked, who is he meditating on? If he is supreme, why he should meditate on someone else? Then that person started thinking. Then the speaker told this person, I was there also. And he told that Shiva himself is telling, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanamavarane. I am meditating on Lord Ram, and in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam, he tells very clearly, Shabdam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. To Parvati, he says, I am constantly meditating on the Vishuddha Sattvas, that Shabdam. What is that? Vasudeva Shabditam. I am always meditating on Lord Vasudeva or Sankarshana, my worshipable form of the Lord. So now he asks, the speaker asks, if he is Supreme Lord, why he is having Rudraksha bead in his hand? Why he is chanting? Why he is meditating? Do you see Krishna having beads in his hand? Yes, only flute in his hand. All others are beads, having beads in his hand. All other is devotees, but he doesn't have beads. Right? He has beads around his neck. He has a flute only. He is simply playing flute and playing with the cows and gopas or whatever. So the understanding should be very clear. That's all. Conclusion is that the understanding should be very clear, and that is very easily received from Bhagavatam, which is very clear. Aspadam. Aspadam. See, labheta vata ahata now ivaspadam. For the boat, it is the aspadam. Aspadam means shelter, right? When it comes to the shore only, it has a resting place. Resting place means what? Once you come there, you won't go anywhere else. Correct? You won't feel worried that you are moving thing. In the middle of the waters, boat can be swayed anywhere in direction. Even if nobody is there, by the blow of the wind, the boat can sway here and there. Correct? So it cannot feel resting. Resting means relaxed and peaceful, and that resting place kind of. You are completely relaxed and peaceful. You don't have any fear, nothing. Huh? That comes only in the fear that Abhaya Charanara in the where you are sheltered at the lotus feet of the Abhaya Charan, right? That one. So in our case also, you see anyone else worshipping the devatas or others, they always go with the idea of I have to get this, I have to get that, etc. With the barter system. So their desires are not fulfilled. Today they will go and ask some, say, nice building I want, nice house I want. Tomorrow they will go and ask I want nice car, and then next time day they will go and ask I want nice wife, nice husband, like that. They will keep on going with this, etc. So there is no end to the desire at all. Apuryamana achala pratishtam samudramapaha pravishanti yadvat. How many ever desires come, that that Shanta person's heart will not be agitated. The ocean doesn't get increase or decrease, even though there's so much of water is pouring on. Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve. So many kamas, desires will flow into his mind. Sa shanti mapnoti na kama kama. Sa shanti. He is the only person who is not agitated, just like the ocean. He is the one who can be completely shanta. The kamakami. Everyone, a person who is trying to satisfy every single desire, he will never be satisfied. That is what happens to those people who are going to devatas. What is that? Kama is says there that krita jnana prapadyanti anya devata. Right? Krita jnana. Their heart is stolen. So for such people, this problem is there. for those who are going after. But you see, those who come to Krishna, even if Krishna does not fulfill their desires, they don't feel agitated, isn't it? That's the ultimate, I mean to say, material desires. For example, you come to Krishna consciousness, you may have had an ambition of becoming a millionaire. You might not have become a millionaire. On the other hand, there might be some losses in our life or whatever, but still you will not leave the lotus feet of Krishna. You see, with other devatas and those who go with a desire, their desire is not fulfilled, they will be looking for someone else where they can get the desire fulfilled. But those who are genuinely coming to Krishna, irrespective of whether their desires, material desires are fulfilled or not, they will never ever leave the lotus feet of Krishna. Because Krishna may not give you those millions of dollars or name, fame, etc. from in this world, but he will give what all those other things cannot give. That is peace of mind. Sa Shanti Mahaprati. He gives that happiness. He gives that transcendental bliss, which you will not get even from this other Kanchan, Kamini, Pratishtha. That is why Prabhupada says many times, and it is true also, that those who are attracted by Krishna's glances, Krishna's mercy, no, they will never feel like going anywhere else. Even if someone promises them, no, in Krishna you will not get anything, come here, you will get all material opulence, they will not go. Whereas those who are getting such material benefits from others, material benedictions, everything from others, at some point they will feel dissatisfied. They will feel dissatisfied. Why? Because the ones who they worship themselves are not completed. That is not told by Krishna, but that is told by the demigods themselves. They themselves say in Bhagavatam. You may not accept what Krishna says, what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, but you have to accept what the Devatas they say in prayer to Krishna in Bhagavatam. We will close with that. Before that, I will just read this one. Having all the different Puranas, different sections in Vedas, and keeping ultimate goal as confidential. This is not expression of Krishna's love for a lost child who left home loitering, because you are already in revolted condition in search of false enjoyment, separate from Krishna. Supreme Lord being loving and kind, Father, arranging all these different things are what we are desiring via other uncles. Uncles, I like this uncles, demigods. Yeah, very true. This is actually a Leela by which Krishna is not only trying to somehow or other say sometimes the son will not directly listen to the father. So he is sending the uncle or someone else to, you don't tell that I am giving the money. You just give this money to him. That way he will think that you are giving the money. He may not like when he hears that I have given the money. So you just give it. Slowly he will come up, and later when he realizes that this money is not given by that uncle, originally by the father, then he will feel the genuine love of the father. He will appreciate the genuine love of the father. So very beautiful example. That's also there. Yes, Krishna is very loving. Otherwise, he would not let these things at all. Vyasadeva would have, as I told you, would have thrown all these books into the Saraswati river. Only Bhagavatam would have existed. Why? Because there is a lot of things in there also which eternal truth is there. They are not different. There is no, they are all apaurushaya. All our Vedic Shastras are called apaurushaya. Apaurushaya means not written by anybody with the four defects, like the cheating propensity, imperfect senses, and all those four defects are there in all human beings. No? That is not there. Vyasadeva. It's basically a Leela that is enacting. At the end of the day, that's what we should understand. Okay, sorry, somebody was saying something. Or I was going to say something. And then I got into this. Said, we were discussing that point, no?
I just want to say that Surudem Sarva Bhutanam Jnatvam
Yes, Prabhu.
Shanti
I think you are relating to Mataji's, Maunika Mataji's point, no? Yes, Prabhu. Very true, Prabhu. He is Suhridam. That's why he is giving that opportunity. Somehow or other you come. If you hate me also, it's okay. Somehow or other you come. So he does that. That's why many of these demons, they go to Shiva, Brahma and all, no? They know that they don't want to go to Krishna, but they want to get the benediction somehow. Like Ravan, this our Hiranyakashipu and all that. Nice point. So any other points from anyone?
Demons, if they go to Vishnu, they will lose all demonic qualities.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, when they go to him, even we go, we have so many of these qualities are there, which is very, which are demoniac, but we are not able to accept that. But eventually we will understand that, and that will also go away, by Krishna consciousness. Really wonderful path. How Krishna has given this and Prabhupada has highlighted this point. So the most defective part of worshipping demigods is that it creates a definite conception of pantheism, ending disastrously in many religious sects, detrimental to the process of the principles of Bhagavatam. So Narada Muni's main contention was this: by your writing this thing, people will not accept the principles of Bhagavatam easily. Why? Because one will go this direction in this devta, one will go that direction in another devta. So everyone will say, hey, everything is correct. Yeah, everywhere, everything is correct only. But that is not correct. That is not the correct conclusion. How can all the paths be the same? Karma Kanda, it cannot be the same as Jnana Kanda or Upasana. All put together, it is okay. That is okay. That is a different thing. But the principles of Bhagavatam, okay. If somebody says that no, everything is same, you come. We tell them that you come to Bhagavatam yourself, see, and then you understand whether this is the same as the other path. Bhagavatam does not talk about all the material glories that we have to get out of it. It only talks about devotional service, nothing else. It talks at the Atma level. There is no body level, there is no mind level, there is no society level, nothing of that sort. It doesn't differentiate between Indian and American or Chinese or Japanese, isn't it? Is there anywhere else Hindu word is used in Bhagavatam? Right? It's not there. It's Sanatana. Okay, so any other questions, comments? Before I just want to conclude with reading this verse, at least the next verse. It's one verse where Narada Muni directly chastises Vyasadeva. He goes to that extent that it's very condemned, he says, whatever you have done. But of course, as directed by the Lord, he is doing that role. He's performing that role. Let's read that shloka if no one has a question, and then we can end. Jugupsitam dharma krute anushasatah स्वभावरक्तस्य महान् व्यतिक्रमः यद्वाक्यतो धर्म इतीतरः स्थितो न मन्यते तस्य निवारणं जनः. Let's read this word for word. Someone can. This is actually one of my favorite verses.
May I read?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Jugupsatam, verily condemned, dharma krite, for the matter of religion, anushastataha, instruction, swabhava taktasya, naturally inclined, mahan, great, vyatikramaha, unreasonable, yat vakyatah, under whose instruction, dharma, religion, iti, it is thus, itaraha, the people in general, kritaha, fixed, na, do not, manyate, think, tasya, of that, nivaranam, prohibition, janaha, they. Should I read translation, Prabhu?
Yes, please.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way in the name of religion. This is verily condemned and is quite unreasonable, because they are guided under your instruction. They will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for prohibition.
So this is actually more than, if you have to say, for Vyasadev, through Vyasadev, Narada Muni is giving these instructions to all the saints and sages, or someone who is in that level to whom people listen. When we get to that point, we should be very clear that, we don't misdirect people. We give them the right direction to where they can go. Even within Krishna consciousness also, there are so many people who are confused and misdirected, if you have to see that way. Instead of giving them simple solution to their problems in their household life, or to their problem in their other relations, etc., etc., if we complicate them too much, then people will feel very much dejected and despondent and confused, even after coming to Krishna consciousness. So we have to be very clear that, here this point is very interesting. Narada is saying they are very naturally inclined to enjoy. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha, you have given this all through your Vedic this thing. Those are the 4 things you have told. But in that, people are not even crossing the kama, dharma, artha, and kama. They stop there. After kama, they are coming to in a loop. Instead of going further to moksha, they again come back to dharma, artha, kama. And so slowly they miss the first one also. Only artha kama that happens. Work hard for artha, enjoy the kama out of it. You use the artha to kama instead of using it for dharma. The artha that which you are earning, that is the wealth that which you are earning, should be utilized in dharma properly. Only then our kama will end. But what we do, we remove the dharma, use the artha only in kama, only in fulfilling our desires, without seeing the religious part of it, right? That's why we are not going further to moksha, or even beyond moksha, that is bhakti, that is not there. So that is why he is telling swabhava raktasya, by swabhava they are enjoying. And on top of it, you are a great scholar, you are a great personality, you are really worshipped, etc., etc. And then you are giving the same thing to them, then what will happen? They will say, hey, Vyasadeva told, we will follow it. Vyasadeva himself told, what's the point? We will follow it. Vedas itself has written, Veda Vakya, it is Veda Vakya, we have to follow, we have to do, we have to enjoy. This way, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is destroying that whole world, all the population. They will never care for prohibitions. You have given prohibitions, but for them, once the Kama is there, they will stop. They will not care for the don'ts. Nivarana means prohibitions. If a doctor tells you eat this medicine, you eat this medicine, you don't eat this food, you only eat this food. What they will say, medicine is there, doesn't matter. They will keep on eating what is prohibited also. You are not supposed to do this 4 vices, gambling, intoxication, etc. But what they will do, intoxication we will do. A simple thing, just go and offer it to this demigod, and he will take it and you can do. Meat eating, no problem. Go to worship Kali. Go offer it to Kali and Kali will take it. You can take it as Kali's Mahaprasad. Or they will say, Shiva is eating, this person is eating, that person is eating, I will also eat. What's wrong? Like this, their idea is to eat meat. For that, they will go to any extent. There are many such nonsense happening in the form of these various things that come in this, like say cinemas or dramas and all. They try to justify wrong thing, and then they want to spread that whole thing as a good activity. Like say for example, marrying many people, or cheating somebody. These things and all are justified in these movies and plays or whatever they are having. And then it goes the direction. People say, hey, it's a good thing only. So this is all prohibitions. See, these prohibitions, if they don't strictly follow, and it will lead to destruction. That is why Narada Muni's this particular instruction is just in the name of Vyasadeva, he is actually indicating this to all genuine well-wishers who want to guide others, who want to perfect themselves also and guide others also. So I'll stop here. You'll read this purport. It's a little longer purport. You'll read this in the coming week, Krishna willing, coming next session. So shall we stop here? It's already 10-15 minutes over the time, So we'll probably stop here, and then we will continue with the purport. And you please read through this purport in your free time during the week. That way you will also have a very good idea, And then any further questions or anything that you have, please let's you note them down, and then we can discuss it. Shall we stop here? Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam Jai Shri Prabhupada Jai Shri Kalacakra Kṛṣṇa Dāsa.
Kripa Sindhu
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.